Hello, good day, animal breeders and viewers from different locations. My name is Olashubo Solomon Ayobami. I am the Managing Director and Team Head of AgroBreeders Nigeria, an animal breeding and mentorship company that is situated in Nigeria with headquarters in Plateau State, Nigeria. Do well to see that you join us every Monday at 8:30 a.m. West African time, live for a period of mentorship and capacity building on our YouTube channel at AgroBreeders Nigeria 7031, AgroBreeders Nigeria 7031. On that platform, every Monday at 8:30 a.m. is always a wonderful time of learning. It's always a wonderful time of building capacity in animal breeding. And we talk about a lot of topics, a lot of wonderful sessions on animal breeding. I myself is the facilitator of this session alongside some other team members of AgroBreeders Nigeria. You can also follow us on our Instagram page, AgroBreeders_Nigeria on Instagram. You can follow us on Facebook, on our Facebook page, AgroBreeders Nigeria. And you can also reach out to us via our AgroBreeders official line, 08163666344. If you're outside the country, you can say +2348163666344. What you know in animal breeding is what determines what you can produce. I want to encourage you to see that you follow us and give yourself to capacity building. There's nothing that you cannot achieve in animal production when you build capacity in animal breeding. Thank you so much. Once again, I remain Ayobami Olashubo from AgroBreeders Nigeria. See you there. Hello, good day, animal breeders and pig farmers from different locations. Welcome to another episode of Animal Breeding Basics with AgroBreeders Nigeria. This is a platform where we mentor farmers. Today, by God's grace, we'll be looking at pig production systems. Pig production systems. It is very expedient that you understand the systems of pig management thereabout. There are different systems of pig production depending on the availability of funds, depending on the management, the capacity to manage them, and also, of course, depending on many other factors thereabout. There are many factors that determines the pig production systems that a farmer engages in, depending on the capital that is available, depending on the number of labor thereabout, depending on the availability of land and properties thereabout, and depending on even the knowledge of the farmer thereabout. Quickly within today, I'll be teaching on I'll be exposing pig farmers to different systems of producing pigs. The first one I'll be talking about here is that is widely known is what we call the intensive system. And in the intensive system, it is also known as a pig factory farming, in which it is a primary method of producing pigs. The farmer confines all the pigs within a building and does not allow them to move out. This is a very, very intensive system. We call it an intensive system because the animals, all their living, all their provisions, their management is managed by the farmer himself, in the sense that pens are constructed. In fact, if you go to well-developed locations in towns and in countries, over the years, farmers have engaged in this system of pig farming thereabout because it is a commercial system. We call it the intensive commercial system. It is a factory, like a factory where, big technologies, latest swine technologies are used. It requires a very, very high capital investment to run this kind of system. You can see the pictures I have there. One can run this system thereabout. It's just a system where the pens are created for the animals and hundreds of animals are kept together in a simple structure thereabout. The flooring system now depends on the availability of materials and the knowledge of the farmer also. You can run your intensive system on what they call is using an industrial microorganism system or a deep litter system, what we normally know as a deep litter system, which is what you are seeing here. And you can also keep them in farrowing crates or in a confinement like this, as seen in some other locations, depending on the facility that is made available to the farmer and also depending on the availability of funds thereabout. So in intensive system, the farmer raises the pigs inside the sties, either on concrete or sawdust as explained. The farmer provides feed, water and veterinary services routinely in adequate measure. If you are growing animals under free range, there's a possibility of the piglets, the animals can even get certain cure, or let me say certain natural therapies to some sickness or some health needs naturally by themselves. But whatever makes the farmers to hold up animals in an intensive system like this, it's very expedient that the farmer can provide veterinary services and treatments to them. The farmer will provide food and water to them. The farmer will provide what you call good beddings for them and some other things. The system saves labor. That's the first one. Provides the condition for management standard and easy control of internal parasites. There is also protection from inclement weather, predators, and thieves. The feeding efficiency is high. Therefore, the growth rate is also very, very high. Now, in this system, it has the advantage of the intensive system of pig farming is that you are able to produce these animals. They get to maturity within a small time because high feed cost, high feed materials is brought into this kind of farming to be able to help the animals grow and have a good life. Also, at the same time, another advantage is that the cases of animal diseases and infections is not there. The cases of animal losses has been minimized because they are kept and they are being monitored, tended by under close monitoring thereabouts. But the disadvantage of this system is that it is difficult for the farmer to manage in a place where there is not enough capital thereabouts. Imagine holding 200, 300, and even up to thousands of animals together in a single system, and you have to provide food for them, you have to provide water for them, you have to provide everything that they need thereabout. It is one that it costs a lot thereabout, and it takes stamina and it takes capacity to be able to do this kind of system very well, because there are a lot of things that the farmer will be investing in, on renovation of structures thereabout, on the number of workers that will have to work in that kind of farm per day thereabout, and the need to feed them and some other things. These are the disadvantages, but the advantage is that you produce good meat, and animals that get to maturity in good time thereabout. The next system is what we call the semi-intensive system. In the semi-intensive system, the farmer provides housing for the animals and allows them to roam about. Now, in this system, the farmer provides something that we call like a paddock thereabout, or a mini accommodation for the pigs, but does not give them food. Every morning, the animals go out by themselves to feed thereabout, and they feed around, although sometimes they keep them in a protected area thereabout, but the animals tend to feed on natural vegetation. Normally, something like this is created. You can see that this is created for them to sleep in, but there's a large vegetation all around that the animal can use, to get their daily needs thereabouts. In this system, wallow pits and shades are also provided all around the farm. Moreover, the farmer allows the animal to move about thereabout, thereby exercising themselves to prevent fat build-up in the body. Groups concerned with ethical standards in livestock farming would also have to check this method. The system needs less capital investment, but labor requirement, disease incidence, and parasite infestation are high in this system because the farmer creates a place where the animals can sleep, but these animals are allowed to roam around and to fend for themselves thereabouts. The level of energy, the level of attention that is given to these animals is lesser than in an intensive commercial system. The next one we'll be looking at here is what we call the extensive system, and this is what I call a peasant or a local farming, and I don't expect any pig farmer who is going who is trying to farm pigs for money to go into this system of farming, because as you'll be learning here, in this system the farmer allows the pigs to roam about and fend for themselves. This system has little or no capital investment, and the cost of production is highly low, and at the same time the productivity rate is also low. This is not a kind of pig farming for a commercial system, because in a commercial system you must be able to put things in place that helps you see that you produce large litter of animals, you produce animals that are healthy, you produce animals that get to maturity within a small time, you produce animals that have better performance, animals that are not easily falling sick thereabout. We call this system an extensive system. The farmer just owns the animal, but allow them to roam about. He doesn't give them food nor shelter. This cannot be found, of course, in a developed country. This cannot be found in cities. These are found in localities where farmers do not have the capacity to, or let me say the financial means to see that they do the farming very well. And lastly, what I'll be showing you today is what we call the free range system. Now, this free range system has been seen in different locations. If you go to camps around South Africa, in fact, as a matter in Africa, South Africans are one of the best in free range farming. They engage highly in free range farming. And what is free range farming? Free range pig farming means that pigs are kept outdoor in big enough camps where they can eat, they can sleep and play outside for their entire lives to allow them to express their natural instinctive behavior. Now, under swine ethology, we've learned that there's a behavior of pigs under confinement, and there's a natural expected behavior by every animal. Advantage of the free range system is that it helps the farmer it helps the animal to live under their natural environment. It helps the animal to have the natural environment, even though they have been tamed and domesticated. And of course, due to domestication and years of improvement, these animals have also evolved, but at the same time, they still have the opportunity and privilege to live naturally under natural environments thereabouts. Now, the way it is being done is that the farmer looks for we call something protected area and camps. It is always in outskirts of towns, of big towns and locations. A place is protected, then these animals are kept thereabout, so that they can have access to water, they can have access to food, they can have access to green vegetations, just like an animal that is living, free-rangely, ranging on a natural vegetation and natural environments. Although sometimes in the afternoon or in the morning, foods are made available for them, and also at the same time, farrowing sows are looked after thereabouts. They can give birth inside the bush. Then the farmer can easily go and manage these piglets. The advantage is that there is no need for much care in terms of their health management and there, because these piglets produced under free range system has the ability to absorb iron solution, or let me say iron compound directly from the soil by themselves. There's no need for one to inject those kind of animals with iron. They don't have issues of anemia, because they have access to natural compounds from the soil. These animals could get leaves to eat. These animals could swim naturally, and you see it in their growth, because they grow very, very well, because there's a limitations that comes to confining animals. The limitations of it that sometimes you see that these animals have fat build up because they are not supposed to naturally be tamed in that way, and that's why some people who even engage in an intensive commercial system, there are times that we open up and we release the animal to just roam about and come back thereabout. That help them to also exercise their natural intrinsic abilities thereabout. So these are the advantage of the free range system. You can see a structure like this. This is in the afternoon. These are in camps thereabout. In this kind of place, once in a while, feed can be augmented for them. You can see they can come around in the afternoon and take some feed thereabout. You can see this is the camps. So bikes like this are used thereabout. This is a tropical free range camp in outskirts of South Africa. You can see bikes like this are used to monitor them around. You can see them thereabout coming in the afternoon to take some food. The location that is being used for this kind of free range farming is an outskirt. The area must be examined to see that it has all the natural systems and natural environment that is needed for a good living, for the animal to do well and to thrive very well. So they have water environment, and they can have access to natural waters thereabout. Now, if you look at this animal might not be able to perform better in terms of its behavior. This is an aspect of animal welfare thereabout. It might be difficult for the animals, might not perform when confined, might not perform as they are performing here on the natural environment. You can see that they have access to water and they can take care of themselves. These are also some others. You can see that they have access to vegetations and environments that help them produce shade. Just that once in a while, feed can be can be provided for them for better growth also, sometimes in the afternoon or in the evening. Sometimes sounds can be used, ultrasonic sounds can be used to call them back. They can come back and come. It's a very, very good kind of farming in the sense that you see the animal, manifest their natural behavior under a free-range system. So these are the system of the pig production system. So, but in summary, or let me say in conclusion, either the free-range system, the semi-intensive system, or the intensive system, all of this is tied to, number one, is determined by availability of resources, the interest of the farmer, the knowledge of the farmer thereabout. There are some certain knowledge that is needed. Generally, the swine for one to do well in swine production, you must have knowledge. You must have knowledge of animal keeping. You must have knowledge of what the animal need based on the system of farming you are coming into. If you want to run a cemented floor system in an intensive system, there's a lot to be known, a lot about animal health, swine health. A lot must be known about swine ethology. A lot must be known about the needs of those animals because of their environment thereabout. So these are the different pig production systems, but generally knowledge of which systems to go into is what is needed for profitability. Everybody that is farming pigs for money must be able to choose a system to go into based on the requisite amount of knowledge that you have per time thereabout. And there are people who can manage these two systems together also, one or two together, depending on the knowledge that is available to the farmer per time. Thank you so much for this wonderful episode with Agrobreeders Nigeria. See you next week. Thank you. Thanks so much for joining us for today's episode, and stay tuned for more amazing episodes to come. Every Monday, we are live every Monday at 8:30 a.m. West African time. Do well to reach out to us for animal breeding mentorship and trainings. Do well to meet us for farm establishments or all aspects of animal breeding. You can stay tuned and reach us on our social media, Agrobreeders Nigeria, on Instagram, on Facebook, and for mentorship or for questioning, you can call Agrobreeders official line on +234 81 636 66344 +234 81 636 66344. Thank you for trusting Agrobreeders Nigeria. We are committed to raising competent farmers globally. Thank you.